magic is imagination. We are moving into an age of manifestation. Things become actually less material, more ethereal. The golden dawn is when we awaken to this new station of life. What you think becomes real quicker. Regain our imagination, regain our inner child, and let that inner child out.
My name is Frank Castle, founding member of the music group Ice Click and New York City Neo Shaman. After a serious injury sidelined my career in 2013, I decided to set out on an adventure to search for myself with the help of the plant medicine Ayahuasca. What I discovered waiting for me was something I could have never prepared for. It was time for me to become something more, someone more. It was time I became fearless. In the darkest of nights, gonna let my light shine as my heart beats in rhythm with space and time. When the light starts to shine inside your third eye, you awake to the knowledge that you never die. I'm becoming fearless. What is up, everyone? It's your main man, Frank Castle, your sorcerer supreme, right here each and every Saturday night on Fearless. And I'm joined by my etherical translator and co-host, Paula Milo.
Hey, everyone.
And just as we start the show, we would like to officially announce the world premiere of the new Sons of the Suns unraveling video. If you'd like to join us, please.
It's really good. It's really good.
Bring your eyes to the screen and your ears to the speakers. How they used to do it on MTV? World premiere. World premiere.
When they played music.
when they played music. Here we go. Sons of the Sun unraveling.
The signs have been all around. To the stars we are traveling. Blast off. Now here comes that same. My third eye sees all things alive. The questions you ask a lot. All in your mind. How to be confined. Let the eye clear out the grind. Meditations will play. Teach us something visions refine. See the designs. As we all start to combine. I'll create a molecules with every single enzyme. Not coming back again. For a reset and rewind. Putting in the work. Then I catch a portal through time. I think it's time that we go you out. Your actions crazy, you profit from overfalling. You won't fall in love, and your shit show stories oversold. The child is brand new, and there is no doubt. I think it's time that we cut you out. Your actions crazy, you profit from overfalling. You won't fall in love, and your shit show stories oversold. The child is brand new, and there is no doubt. There is no doubt. As a group now that keeps us alert to this game, we'll do anyhow as one. That's when we'll reclaim. No, I won't allow your tricks to control. control this mainframe. And we never bow from within. That's how we make that change.
So many things are activating this time. Going round and round till our minds open wide. Enjoy the ride, let the frequencies get you high. Like Ayahuasca did when she helped me change my life. Now I see geometry in the trees, and I begin to respect all the things like me. Now breathe in and out with ease. Release. Time to fill this world with some peace.
I think it's time that we all cut you out. Your actions craft as you profit from all the fallout. You won't fall in land in your shit show stories overstalled out. The child is brand new, there is no doubt. I think it's time that we cut you out. Your actions craft as you profit from all the fallout. You won't fall in land in your shit show stories overstalled out. The child is brand new, there is no
ancient concept of the prehistoric and ancient year is the soul.
All right, we are back. Thank you so much for being here tonight, everyone. Fearless family, that is Unraveling from Sons of the Sun, the new official first release video that I've been part of in has to be at least 10 years.
I like it.
I like it too. Special shout outs to my man, the prime creator himself, KG. Without you, this would never go anywhere. You're the man, bro. I love you so much. You put in hard work that is definitely paying off. They say sometimes when you start a business to understand the business from top to bottom, right? Everything from the mailroom to the president's desk, right? And you wouldn't think that would be like that with music, but it is. Just saying. you get invited.
Well, because you can do everything yourself now. You don't need to.
But you wouldn't think you could do everything yourself. Right. I mean, I personally am not good with a whole bunch of things, but I'm good with a bunch of other things that are just kind of random and thrown in there, right?
Yeah.
Like that's the new Suns logo. Hold on, let's go back to that for a second. That's the new Suns logo. Kevin and I put that together. So it's nice to be able to be part in art, let's say. And I've never been able to do anything.
Taking off your sweater?
Yeah, I'm sweating now.
Really?
Yeah. But you know, just being, you know, everyone in the Fearless family is known from when this started, from day one. You start with zero, nothing. It's an idea. Hey, it'd be great if we did this.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn around and you say to yourself, oh, we got all this stuff to do, right? It's not like you're going to get signed to a label and all of a sudden they're going to go, come here, Paula, we have all this great stuff. Just here, walk into the limo, you know, walk right up to the mic, say your part, right? And then you're done with your part. Okay, you're done. Okay, here's some blunts. Here's some fucking more blunts. Here's some champagne and here's some crazy shit. I violate my own copyright claims. Isn't that funny?
Oh, because of the song?
Yeah. They send it immediately. So, we're learning. I'm learning. I know Kev's learning, but I'm really knew a lot of this and was afraid to get back to it. I'm going to be honest, because it's a lot of fucking work, but it's really not. when you're enjoying it. So I'm like breaking a mold from going, Heist Click, we were so crazy and we were just like headstrong.
Mhm.
It was all day, nonstop. Like you wouldn't even want me around because you'd be like, oh, here it comes again. Yeah, we know Heist Click, this, that. Like it was kind of like that.
Yeah, but it was also harder to share information then. I mean, you couldn't
True.
you couldn't share your music. You couldn't send someone a file of your music then.
Do you know
it
if
was
the
just
internet
different.
came out and we were
Mhm.
like, oh, this is great. So we got all these addresses
Mhm.
for colleges, and the colleges still didn't have emails to the directors yet. Like we couldn't get the information to
Mhm.
get you an email because you fucking didn't set it up yet. You never set it up. Like that's how new it was.
Mhm.
So we were sending hard packages out.
Yeah. Mhm.
And it was expensive.
Yep.
Ugh. That's when burning a DVD, you were at like
CD,
a CD. You were like, it was like $2-3 a CD because you didn't know what you're doing. Then you have to go buy the piece because it didn't come with the computer at the time. It was like this bulky piece. And I mean, that's all nothing. Considering what they do to you, what you think they'll do for you, which they don't really do much. They shelf, no
the record
joke,
companies,
more
yeah.
somewhere between like 60 and 90%. They just shelf you.
You get to write it off on your taxes.
They get to write it off.
Yeah.
You get to owe them for the album that they put you on, all the employees pay, all the time in the studio. You still have to pay that back. So they'll give you, let's say, like $150,000, and they're like, "We want you. We're signing you. Here's your bonus. We're signing you. Here's $150,000." Okay, with that $150,000, you got to make your next album. Okay, so they're going to charge you their rates, and then you go and do the album. Even if you got that thing knocked out in, let's say, 3 weeks, you're at $100,000. Okay, they charge you for. You get coffee. If somebody hands that coffee to you,
yeah.
Did my employee hand you that coffee?
Mhm.
Okay, you're not paying for the coffee. You're paying for the employee to stand there and hand it to you. Shit like that. Makes it incredibly hard to tip at Christmas, by the way. There's just fucking hands out everywhere. Okay, now you got an extra 50, right? Now you got to promote. You got to put all your shit out. You got to contact all the media. And they're like, oh, well, we called Blackbeat, Word Up, and Right On. We're going to get you in. This is what I did. I actually did this with my guys, but they would charge you for that.
Mm-hmm.
And then if you didn't make it in to the articles or whatever, because they weren't feeling you, now you're going into a category of, okay, they don't even like him. So we're going to just shelf this guy right here. So you might get your one little article, little thing, and you get charged for it. And you're like, damn, I got to pay for all these people calling people and just saying, hey, can you do this for me? The facts over and everything they hit you with. So I'm like, is it really worth going to a label if they're not going to Kanye West you immediately?
I don't think so. If you can do it yourself,
right? But
you own material. No.
Yes. Now, I was talking to Kevin about this. You got to grassroots yourself a little more, which is a little bit of a pain. But is it really when the world's waking up? When you don't want to get signed to a major label or even a minor one because you know they're not going to do the right thing. You just said that your faith in the system is gone. Just like our faith in the, it's like going to say, go put your money in the bank. Is it really safe now? I mean, it's safe, but is it really safe? If the economy crashes next week or in a month from now, or if shit starts dipping and then we all go, oh, come on, let's go get some money for rent. And then the first 10% of the people that show up and pull all their money have the money and they get to leave quickly. And then the bank shuts down and goes, that's all. We only keep, they're not going to tell you they're going to keep 10% on it.
And then I'll have to do that.
But that's what they do. And they take the 90% and then they go make money on that, making money on your money and making less than 1%. All right. So this is exactly what the labels do to you. They get you to a point where you feel like you need them so desperately that you'll to do anything to be part of it. And absolutely, we want no part of that. But yet you still want to be part of the music community at large. I don't hate musicians. I love musicians. I don't know what I would have done in my life without people making music. I mean, how many times has there been a point in your life where music was necessary?
Every single every single milestone or every single good or bad or
every day,
mediocre thing that happened.
right?
Yeah.
Ups, downs, lefts, right? All right.
Yep.
Imagine watching Endgame or something with no music in it.
That's a documentary.
It's just boring.
Yeah.
You'll just be staring at people, like staring at each other with no background music or nothing. It'll be eerie silences and all kinds of weird shit. Like, we need music. I love music. Music loves everyone else. And we have to start bringing to the forefront the reality that this isn't going to help us. My music's never going to get out to you if I choose to go this route to get famous or to like, I don't need all eyes on me. I'm sure Kev at our age now, we're kind of like, we don't need you all eyes on us. What we want to do is have fun and bring out music. And there should be a viable way to let your music just roll out into the public. Let the public pick. I don't know quite how it works, but there is a choker on that with the industry. So I used to do these giant shows with this guy. He was always on with us, the Shark. I'm just going to say that's his name. So he was a shark. Literally, right? So he would see that we're performing and we're always performing together, like we're always showing up on the same bill. We would have the crowd going berserk. They were ready to announce us, and then he would drop 500 to the guy that was bringing people on stage and be like, no, you guys got it wrong, I come out next. Right? And then he would go out, he would get all the glory, and then we would go out to a dead crowd because it stops the momentum and all that. There's always games and all this bullshit. Okay, well, being tired of all that and now being able to represent and re-represent the people when it comes to the sounds themselves, the vibrations, the high vibrations, the high frequency sounds, things that bring the party together, bring a good feeling back, not necessarily some dumbed down shit, because we're suffering with a lot of that today, and laying it out there and letting it just kind of detach and flow. And monthly, just drop another, get the locomotive going, drop another, drop another, say what's up to everyone. We're starting to go on different, at my age, when you say, I think we talked about this the other day, like, I'm going to switch from Facebook to something else because I can't do anything on Facebook anymore. They literally won't let me do anything. I'm on a permanent 90-day restriction. So I want to take it to another place, another platform. But the other platforms, although some may be good or whatever, they are we just shuffling deck chairs on the Titanic at this point until the system kind of cracks and breaks?
I don't know.
Right? I go on Getter and it's literally all political. I'm like, okay, I'm going to go to the music section. I can't find it. So I just type in #music, and it's just a guy. He calls himself music so he could get tagged in that, and then does political nonsense music. Like, I was just like, oh, okay. So this guy took it and just was like, nope, this is me, bro. Political. Right? Like, I was like, oh, okay. I see what you're doing. So I was telling Kev, grassroots wise, we start leaking into all of them.
Yeah.
Not as Kevin and Frank.
No, it's the Sons of
just
the Sun.
Sons of the Sun. Does it really matter anymore? Facebook seems to be, and I'm not taking a knock on anyone, it seems to be for people like in their 40s, at least in my age, my bracket, from what I'm seeing, because I have thousands of friends on there. I see the same 20.
I think it's,
even when you pay to have your stuff seen, it won't show it to all your friends.
Oh yeah, I see like the same 6 or 7
all the time.
videos.
I'll even reset it, and there it goes again. Now, is it the algorithm? Is it this? Is it that? Do we really want to discuss it, or do we just want to drop it everywhere? The reality of it is, it's not Frank pulling from the ether like, yo, Kev, we got to do this now, or we'll never get it. No, it's like, let's have some fun, and let's shuffle it into the direction of the wind. Let it take it and go. Right? I have this weird feeling that music's going to re-Woodstock itself. Do you remember, and I know you do, 1991, when the hair bands were dying? They were just about dead. Like, they were like being choked out at the, nobody wants to fucking hear
grunge
you.
was surfacing.
You had Nirvana, Pearl Jam, Soundgarden, Alice in Chains, Jane's Addiction, Metallica Black, on it. I mean, it's a ridiculous list when you look up what came out in that one year. Now, we could talk about how that music eventually turned into emo shit and held everyone down and everyone's into heroin now and all that. Or we can just ride the vibe, the good vibe. The day you turned on the fucking radio and you said, yo, we're going to the store, and the store's 15 minutes away, and every song that's played in the car is good and you want to play it out. Do you remember when Even Flow came out?
Yeah.
How many times did you hear that and think, wow, this is fucking great? Right? Or coming down the mountain, and you're like, holy shit, what is this music?
I was hanging out with all your friends during that time.
You were hanging out
the early 90s.
With Grunge Vic. Is that we called him Grunge Vic.
And Fulani and the twins. Yeah, all of them.
There was something to that. So I remember getting I didn't get them together. We all got together and they were like, we're going to Laser Grunge.
I went there.
There was like 30 people there.
And I remember the guys saying that they were going.
I was with them when they went. There was one girl there and they nicknamed her Slimer, and she's no longer with us.
No, we didn't go with them.
I went with Fulani.
Girls didn't go with them, but
none of the girls
were
came
saying that they were going.
Yeah.
I was with a boyfriend at the time, and I went.
Boring.
Totally. But I was still friends with those kids.
That was okay. Nathan, shout outs. 1991. This is when I was talking about the hair bands. They were coming in and out, being choked out. Use Your Illusion 1 and 2 took forever, and then they were back to back in 6 months. I think they were that year. I think that they were that year too.
Might have been. We went to see Guns N' Roses metal at Madison Square Garden. They were 2 or 3 hours late.
And who opened for them? You ready? Say it. Just say it. You looked like you were just about to say it, and you said the name already. So
no, was it? No, it was Sebastian Bach open. Skid Row opened for them. Not Skid Row.
Soundgarden.
No, Soundgarden.
You didn't see them with Soundgarden?
No. Sebastian.
Skid Row.
Skid Row opened for them.
I fucking love Skid Row.
Yeah.
People hate Skid Row. I love them.
Yeah, Skid Row opened for them.
That's great. That's amazing. That was probably like their last push on that Weirdo album where they had nothing that was really a hit on it. But I saw Alice in Chains, Soundgarden.
It was 2 or 3 hours they were late.
And then Metallica.
I didn't see I
saw
Metallica in concert.
No, they were with Guns N' Roses. 91 was when they were doing that tour where everyone was fucking late all the time. Oh, maybe you didn't. Yeah, you didn't see them with Metallica, but everywhere they went, they were 3 hours late at least.
I was at the Garden. It was 91 or 92. I don't remember. Because I didn't have a curfew or anything. I was already out of high school.
No, you weren't listening to No Curfew at 91. You'd be like listening to Enter Sandman, like, get the fuck out of here, bro.
No. I meant I wasn't in high school. I didn't have to be homeless. Yeah, it was. All your friends, all of your friends.
So when I played lacrosse, the song and here's a fucking weird flash. The song Starseed. God, I can't remember the name of the group now. When I found out what went wrong, I'll take it back, but it won't be easy. I was playing against Boston. We were driving out there, and that song was like what they were pumping. The whole they were shaking the bus, going because there's nothing else but what they were, what they had at the time. Nobody was playing. There was no one had a boom box with them it was just pumping the radio. And we were like, holy shit. And now look, we're all the way here. Starseed, if you listen to that song, why it's relevant to me, I would listen to it back then and go, wow, these guys are really.
I didn't realize that song was at all.
Yeah. And then when you read the lyrics to the song, it's literally about us now.
I know.
It's about the Starseeds waking up. I had no clue what that was back then. No, I was just like, wow, I guess they're into outer space and shit, huh?
Dolores Cannon, maybe.
I didn't even know who she was.
No one.
So the book that I was reading was Conversations with God. I'm trying to show 1991 and its weirdo relevance. The Celestian Prophecy.
Oh, Celestine Prophecy. Yeah, I read that book.
Wasn't Christopher Walken on Sunshine in that? On the TV version?
Oh, I don't know. I didn't see this. I just...
I go any further back than that, and all I think is Thornbirds for some strange reason. I can't help it. Chris Reeve and with the girl, and then my cousin who left with the priest.
We had a priest like that.
I was
Kelly.
like, we got Thornbirds running around in St. Clair's.
That was it. He told me I was a good Catholic because I always sat back. Get it.
Yeah, Joe, he was so late that we were bored by the time he got there. He came into Giant Stadium in a fucking, I'm talking about Guns N' Roses. Axl Rose came in a helicopter, and no one gave a shit because they were 3 hours late. Like, people were so fucking angry.
Oh, I was angry.
I'm like, what is going on? I mean, how do you watch? I watched Alice in Chains and Metallica, and then had to wait for Guns N' Roses. All right. Anyway, let's get off that shit. They were really good though when they performed. I really enjoyed them. Now let's go back again, and I'm going to show you another. This is going to go back. So now you go back to when music did that again, where there was a rush of music that did that, right? And we talked about this on the show before. You go down to the Village in the 70s, right? It'd be like 74 to 79, I guess. And you're getting lineups like you'd get Ozzy. What's the group that he was in? You get Black Sabbath. Mm-hmm. You get Jimi Hendrix. You get Pink Floyd, Aerosmith. I mean, the fucking lineups. You Queen, Billy Joel. I mean, he wouldn't be on their lineups personally, but all those acts were performing together. Just go look at, type in.
Oh yeah,
just Google
for $8 a ticket.
$8. $8. It was like $8 for you and your guest, and you're gonna get 2 hits of acid on the way in for $8. When I played at, I'm terrible with names when I get really high. What's the club that's really small in the city where all the famous people played? CBGB's. I was in there. We performed. Heist Click performed in there. And they were like, do you know who performed in here? So we were like,
that was the dirtiest place I've ever seen.
It was small and dirty. They had the best sound system, though. And I'm like, no, who played here? And then right there on the floor, Axl's name is carved into the stage. They were like, the Beatles stood there. Jimi Hendrix. They're just staring at me like Mick fucking Jagger, bro. Like anyone you can think of that's famous just stood right where you're. And I'm like, well, I guess I'm going to have to turn it on right now. Okay, so looking at those old flyers, the lineups were insane. And you're like, somebody just said, man, you're not really getting lineups like that. I don't even want to give this credibility. But so
we used to go to the city all the time. I used to go to these shows, and they were like a couple of dollars to get in. And a lot of the clubs were free. You just walked in.
The Village Underground,
all of them. And I used to take
the
my
Limelight
by myself. So, and I would meet my friends there so that I could always make a quick exit to go home. Yeah, it was easy to park in the city. It was you could park anywhere you wanted, and it was like cheap, or it didn't cost anything to get in.
Yes, and you could meet your dudes.
Yeah, you could.
I went down there. I met Skid Row. I won tickets on 104.3. Mm-hmm. I called in. When was the last time you called a radio station and got a fucking 1 tickets to a show? You used to have to sit there and let it ring, and they go, "Hi, this is 104.3 radio. Who you got in there?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's Frankie. Whatever. Do you like Skid Row? What's your favorite song?" "Yeah, Slave to the Grind." And yeah, I remember you. "Oh, great. Hold on 1 second. Hey, what's going on? Hey, man, thanks a lot. I really love it. Yeah, Skid Row 104.3 rocks. This is Frank. Yeah, can't wait to go. All right, yeah, man, hold on a little bit." And they'd hang up, and the other guy picks right up and goes, "All right, where am I sending the 2 tickets?" Or I could have them just sitting at the box office for you. I would always help leave them at the box office. I'll show up, show you my ID. Because that was always dope. You just show right up at the box office, be like, "Hey, you're going to let us in tonight because we won tickets." And they're like, "Come right in." They put the little things on your hand, come right in. Went right into the bathroom, Sebastian Bach was wrecked, and I'm taking a leak. He comes in singing, and then he's just singing and pissing right next to me. And then he's like, "You ready to rock?" And I'm like, "Oh, this is gonna be the greatest show of my life," because he's fucking mad tall. It's like barely up to his shoulder. And we get right out there, and then he starts going off, whatever. He comes out, and he's got a fucking beer, and he just starts dumping beer on the fucking crowd, right in your face. Oh, come on, let's party. Oh no, come on, let's go. We're gonna sing, and literally pulling you on the fucking stage, singing with you. It was a different world. Now, nice to reminisce about this stuff, but I honestly think if you take a look at the timestamp from that timeline, like that group of music to the next group is the same time limit as that group to us right now. Something that I put together. You guys could all go Google, analyze yourselves with the music and the timelines, and here comes the next set. All right, so the new world is going to need music for the revolution. You know what I'm saying? Like, to kind of blast through the other side. They're not going to just let you walk over there. Not with everything that's happening in this world. So you're going to need a new Eye of the Tiger, a new whatever, to get you up and go, yeah, I'm not doing this shit no more. That's my jam right there. Turn that up. Right? And then the next one comes on. You're like, bro, that one's good too. Turn that one up. Oh, dude, that one's good. Turn that one up. Every time I ask online, yo, hey, send me some songs. I rarely ask because I don't sometimes give a shit. And then all of a sudden, I can't stop caring. I need new music. I need something to listen to, because it's always the ayahuasca playlist. I just keep adding to it. So it always has a certain way of song. But when me and you are listening to music,
oh, it's always something different.
It's like today we were listening to Heist Click. We always listen to Sons of the Suns. And then there's always more as we're going. Now we're at 4 songs, and then there's a bunch incoming.
Yeah.
So it's like, wow, one day we're going to be listening. We're going to be 10 songs in.
I know.
Before any other music's even listened to. I'm just letting it slide out and promote those good vibes. We want, we want it to happen. We want everybody to feel good and to enjoy themselves and to find that little thing that they can roll with, maybe get a clip from the song that somehow influences your creativity, like a artist like someone who paints that listens to music, or one that needs music to fall asleep to at night. Like, just give me a fucking playlist. I don't even care what's on it.
Yeah. I
just need something playing. Right? Like, everyone needs a little bit of, but if it could promote to you your ability, like mechanics always listen in the shop when they're to get it going again.
Oh yeah.
When the whole shop is like, yo, those are my jams right there. All right, let's take it to a weird place. I don't know how many of you want to admit or not admit that you liked or listened to Michael Jackson.
Oh, I love Michael Jackson.
That dude, when I was a kid, was fucking crushing it every second. So every time one of his songs came on, people would bug out.
Any decade, too.
They'd be like, oh shit, it's my jam, motherfucker.
Any decade, elementary school, junior high school, like any decade. It didn't matter.
Yeah. But his music did something to you. Like, he stood kind of by himself. Yeah, we get it, King of Pop and all that. But he made people in the room be like, oh, yeah. Or turn into other things. Be like Michael Jackson and just beat it. Right? Like, he was part of even the snap culture. His music just felt, okay, we want to kind of ride that wave in there. Not calling us Michael Jacksons or anything like that by far. But just when you can flip on the station and listen to 20 groups in a row, and you're just like, wow, this is good music. I never fucking heard it till right now.
But it was cool also in high school and junior high school, because we always had different, I know you did too, different groups of friends. So like you had the kids who liked when we used to go to the club and we listened to house music and
house music all night long. My house.
Yeah. And then the metal kids. Listen to that, all that. And then like Bon Jovi was a big deal. So like it was just
music was
different,
almost segregated in groups.
But all the groups liked a lot of different kinds of music. Like they got down with everything.
Well, these guys would wear makeup and kind of be like, the emos,
Oh, yeah,
right? Then there's the
yeah,
metalheads.
I know.
They all had long hair. Fuck you, you fucking crazy long-haired motherfucker. And then they'd be like the Grateful Dead, and it'd be like, nah, fuck you, you hippies, right? So everyone was kind of separate, even though we all knew we all liked certain tracks together, right? Like
Yeah.
you'd find me at a Dave Matthews concert in the front row dancing for
at
hours.
I was at Dave Matthews. I think we were at the. I think
you.
we were
Giant
that
Stadium.
was Giant Stadium.
Yeah.
Not the same day, but the same
That same play out,
week.
yeah.
Definitely.
Like we would just get down. I remember that.
Yeah.
I remember the first time I heard Metallica. I never heard
Me
anything.
too.
I
I
used
never
to.
heard anything like that. It was the best thing in the world.
I went, what the fuck is this?
Yep.
How long have I been on
Yeah.
this planet? How long have they been out there? Like, you haven't heard Metallica? You know, they're on like their 5th album.
I want to say.
I'm like, no, I never heard. I was like, a bunch of you fucking hippies with long hair be
how
listening
did
to
that
this.
even
You
start?
metalheads. Like, we had these weird things like, oh,
I
well,
don't remember who. I don't.
the devil.
I have to think about that one. How that whole thing started. I don't even remember. I can't.
I remember my buddy sitting me down going, okay, we're going to prepare you for this.
I don't remember
And
how
I said,
that
I don't even know
started.
what you're talking about. And we were having a couple of drinks. I was a little kid, and he put beer out. And then I was like, all right, I'm going to have this. We were drinking. I got a little buzzed, and Master of Puppets came on. And I went, what is this? And he's like, this is
That might have been
one of the best things you'll ever listen to, son.
Yeah.
And I was
That
like,
might have been,
holy shit.
That was definitely junior high school. I'm trying to think who were the influencers of that. No, I have to come back to that. Anyway.
We had groups then that were people were looking for that kind of music.
Something
right.
different.
So then, yes, something different. And then groups, local groups, including, I'm going to throw Heist Click in there later on down the line, were just really good. We had a different work ethic, and we would really, I don't know, there was like a taking pride in actual music. It was like raw, real. I'm serious.
Oh, I know.
It was fucking crazy.
I agree.
We would get chills in the little spots with 30 people, and the same that you would get with 300 people, and then thousands of people, right? I mean, I played with LA Guns in Limelight. That was the weirdest fucking thing ever. Like, why would you put Heist Click up in front of LA Guns? But then the crowd, the main room in the Limelight
at the same time, because I used to
was crazy. They used to have packs of different people just hanging out, all the different groups.
Fucking and doing drugs in there. It was so weird.
They used to have literal skinheads in there, like the Fordham Baldy characters and shit.
I don't remember that. I just remember.
Well, I remember because they came up to me and were like, "We fucking love you." I was like, "Dude, I just shaved my head. It's just fun. I have nothing to do with Nazis."
I just have a quick story about the Limelight. This is really quick.
Okay.
So we go to the Limelight. Me and Nancy, the one I go to dinner with all the time. So my friend, she's been my friend. We met. She was in the 9th grade. I was in the 10th grade. We've been friends ever since. And we meet for dinner at least once a month. Sometimes we try to get together twice a month. It depends. And I used to go into the city all the time. We used to see each other a lot more, but I don't go into the city anymore now. I don't go anywhere really anymore. But I managed to maintain seeing her once or twice a month still. And we were at the Limelight one night, and we meet these guys. And I think we went, I might be getting the stories confused because there were a couple of times we were there together. And I meet this guy, and we end up going out on a date, and we're going to go to the movies. And he says to me, "Hey, do you want to go to Atlantic City instead?" So I said, yeah, it was summertime. I was like, yeah, that sounds like a great idea. We go to Atlantic City. I had a great time. We go to Atlantic City. We hang out. We're gambling. I come home like right before the sun is coming up. It was a fun night. And then we go out on a second date. We're supposed to go to the movie again and dinner. And he goes, hey, do you want to go to Foxwoods? And I said, sure. You know, we go to Foxwoods.
That's a casino.
And then I realized this guy has got a gambling problem. And I
I didn't think you were going to say that.
And I guess when you're really young and, you know, you don't know any better, I get these things seem like fun. And then I'm like, no, this is the second time. And we didn't see a movie and I'm gambling in a casino. Like I, you know, I'm not really a gambler, but, you know, and then, yeah, and then I was like, I don't think this is a good idea that we don't have it anymore. I mean, but it was, you know, it was fun. But yeah,
Did you make any money?
I did. The second time I did.
Did you hear any good music?
I actually did.
Okay. Wrap it back around to the music.
Oh yeah, no, there was music playing the whole time. No, that was a Limelight story, not a music story. That was because we were probably there at the same time.
I could guarantee you that we were in there at the same time.
I can definitely.
I did a performance in the Limelight. This club is gigantic, thousands of people, and we had a new song called "March of the Land," and it was something like we had a rock singer, so he'd go like, "Making noise, we have no peace here," and then we'd be like, "March, march, march," right? And then taking lives and tasting no fear. It was kind of cheesy. March, march, and then the beat drops, and then we all come in rapping like fucking crazy. We look like wrestlers going nuts, and this whole section of people were jumping. We were like, holy shit. And it was all skinheads. And they came over after the show. They grabbed us. They pulled us off the stage, like literally picked us up, these giant dudes. And they were like, we're buying you fucking drinks. And we were like, no. Listen, it was around Christmas time too. So we were like, listen. Santa Claus is in the room. Obviously, Nazisms, right? And fascisms and isms everywhere. We're all going to have to hang out together, but you don't have to get us any drinks. That was the greatest fucking song. They were going, march. I'm like, no, not march. Like, you guys are obviously missing the idea of the song completely, because we weren't doing that on stage. We all said beforehand, do not do that when you go out there. So we had like this two-handed pump that we did, and we all jumped up and down and we would stomp our boots and shit. Yeah. We had to take down Watchtower too. They thought it was anti-American. It was right as Watchtower came out, and then 9/11 happened in 2001, and then they were playing it overseas. The original singer was that we had. People were like, "Yo, here's clips of you guys," like they're like partying over there while yelling about 9/11, playing this song. And I'm like, but it's not anti-American, the song. And they're like, nah, the burning down the Watchtower. I'm like, oh, fuck. So they're like, yeah, you're going to have to take that down. We'd advise you strongly to have that one removed. So we took everything down that had to do with that track. And we were like, fuck. And then years later came back out with a new singer and had her sing it. And then it just took off in that positive direction the way it was supposed to. It was like, man, timing is everything with that shit, huh? What I quote it. What it means here for one reason, and what you're growing up through, and then what's happening on the other side of the world while they're watching explosions happen in Manhattan and they're cheering. Two different takes on the same fucking thing.
I am freezing.
Oh yeah, by the way, so we got really sick. So
I think I'm still sick.
Yeah, no,
or I got better and I got sick again. I don't know. But
so much for not getting sick and saying, well, I'm probably not going to get sick anymore. However, I didn't know they'd attack us with a bioweapon. So whatever I got, and I'm sure you could explain on your end, but I felt like it cycled through me. Like one day my bones hurt. One day my throat hurt.
Yeah. One day your stomach hurts.
2 days. It was 2 days on the stomach.
Oh,
I was like, what the fuck
for
is
me, it's
happening?
been, like,
I had a massive headache
yeah.
on my third eye that didn't go away until you gave me that decongestant.
Mhm.
Like that, it was building up that whole time because I wasn't taking anything to that day. I think that was like day 3. And then I was getting you touch the hair and then
Yeah,
that whole
yeah,
area
it
hurts. Total weakness, puffiness,
Well,
stuffiness.
everyone around us was sick.
Everyone.
I mean, on both sides. And Frank and I don't go anywhere. And the one time we do go
Oh,
somewhere,
you sound like you're cold.
yeah, I'm all nasally now.
I'm gonna put the hot water on again.
All right. And we don't go anywhere. And we went out for the holidays, and on both sides of the family, there were people that were sick and friends that were sick, and everyone around them were sick. And Frank and I ended up getting sick. And I don't know if we got sick and then we got better and then we got sick again, because I felt better a couple of days ago than I do now. But whatever, it doesn't even matter. But I think just everyone here in New York, in the Bronx, in Westchester, I mean, everyone was sick, and everyone knows someone that was sick. We were supposed to have Rich and Laura over for the day before. New
They
Year's
weren't
Eve.
sick and then
But
got sick.
But we were
the next
sick.
day.
Yeah, we
but
told
we didn't
them
see
not
them.
to come. Yeah,
We said no, we're sick. No, don't come. And then he was
we
sick.
might be getting sick. Don't come because we don't want to get you sick. And then they ended up getting sick. They're sick now.
We've been texting each other every day. Now we're on like day 5, texting each other like, how do you
know.
feel today? I'm like, dude, I feel better today, but
Not better.
oh, when it hit my chest on like day 6. If I didn't have, what is that called again?
The decongestant.
No, the machine.
Oh, the nebulizer.
I have a nebulizer that
But
Paula
that's what
got
I'm
me.
saying. We got sick on the 29th. No, the 30th.
Yeah, because we didn't do a show last
the 30th,
week.
The 31st, through New Year's. And then I feel like I got better. And then 2 days ago, because I've been sick with my stomach for 2 days. Longer, actually. It's been like 2 or 3 days. And just 2 or 3 days, I feel like I'm sick again. So I don't know. I mean, we disinfected. We took everything apart and cleaned it and changed sheets and,
scrubbed walls and shit.
Doorknobs and everything like that. But
polished the doorknobs.
We don't, and the only place I've gone is the supermarket. I had a mask on, and I ran into the butcher, and I just picked up an order. But that's it. We haven't gone any. We haven't even seen your mom, because your
She stayed with my
kids were
brother.
sick.
Everyone got sick in that
Everyone
house.
got
Full
sick, so she's
COVID.
been
Took
home.
tests. They were like, we have COVID. Then
What?
the other side of the,
Yeah.
because you talk through it.
Is that it?
Yeah. And then the other side, they were sick, and one side didn't want to get the other side sick, and they showed up anyway, and everybody was sick when they got there. Was already sick, and then they were like, "What the fuck?"
And then my sister ended up.
You're looking
sick.
at 20 people in that
And
situation.
then I got worried that we got her sick, but she said that Melissa was sick.
Right. So
Her friend was sick. So everyone is sick.
But it's also the flu
I know.
time.
I know.
But it's also ramped up with all this other nonsense and bullshit that's
There's a lot of
happening around
chemtrailing
us.
going on too.
So that was going to be my next thing. They
Oh, really?
chemtrailed us at
So
nighttime,
bad.
starting like around Christmas, straight through. They haven't stopped. I think right now it's clear out.
I know.
But I would go outside to go for a smoke,
Oh, do you want to go?
and
outside?
then it would be, hey, my higher self would just give me that tap on the shoulder. Yeah, you're not going
Where
out.
is she?
She's behind you.
Oh, okay.
And then it would be, oh, look, the snow. And they were like, yeah, don't go in the snow. That's not play snow.
They kept I keep hearing.
That's why I keep coming
house.
back in. That's why I was getting house weary.
Oh,
but
definitely
we're sick.
house weary. Yeah, and you know what? We were very polite. Like, we weren't crank monsters at each other. Like, it's been like really bad. Like, we haven't gone anywhere. I haven't been in my car. And
I made one ride in my car, and then halfway there, I felt it. Like, it didn't hit me all day, and then halfway
you
there,
felt
I
weak
was like,
and nauseous. Yeah,
Oh,
I
I got to
know.
get home. I still got 2.5 hours on the road.
Well, I was going to take your mother back from the mechanic on Tuesday. And then I was like, I hope she doesn't want me to take her because I really don't feel well. But I said I could just muster up for the ride. I'll wear the mask. I won't touch her, you know. And then she was like, no, I'm going to walk home. And I was like, thank God. Not that I didn't want to take her, but I really didn't feel good. And then I felt better Wednesday. Yeah, I would say Wednesday and Thursday. And then Friday it started again. So I don't know. I really don't know. And you know what? I'm not.
Okay,
It
so
doesn't even matter.
situation wise, she's literally on the floor over
she's
there.
fine. I don't
So
know
she was
what
waiting
to do.
for one of us to get up. But
Oh, hello from Ireland.
shout outs to Fearless Ireland, Fearless Family, and Fearless Family UK. So you have unvaccinated people, you have vaccinated people, you have the flu that goes around every time of the year. Now you have COVID and all that stupid shit. Then the people that are vaccinated, they talk about shedding and all this other stuff. And you're so overloaded, you can't put your finger on it. Right? You try to figure that out.
I don't mind that we got sick. I'm actually happy that we got sick because
And
at
it's
least
done.
now we're exposed. We have antibodies, you know, we were exposed to whatever variant is out there. But I don't care about that because we very rarely get sick. I just want it to go away. Or if you're going to stay like it's like 8-9 days already now.
Right, but if you were trying to put your finger on it, is what I'm saying. Right? Like, oh, this one got this one sick, and this one.
That's like trying to.
We were in a room full of vaccinated people, and we were the only
two everywhere. We
and
were the
then
only two
one
unvaccinated.
person, being my dad, was the only one out of all those people we saw that day that did not get deadly sick. Everyone else got sick.
Mm-hmm.
Everyone, including his girlfriend and stuff. Right?
Oh, she got sick.
Yeah,
too.
everyone got something. He said, luckily not me. Ha ha ha. I guess it worked for me. And I looked at him like, hey, man, don't talk like that. It's not how this works. You were already sick in the hospital. You probably had antibodies.
Right.
Like a high, like, and plus you're around those people. You can't, they make it so you can't put your finger on it.
Origin of a cold. Like you can't.
Which is why it's a perfect attack. This is where you see where I'm driving this boat.
I do see what you're saying. This is ridiculous. It's like now, you know, like remote learn. Like you can't go to school. You got to, like, people can't go to work. Whatever the, you know. I mean, this is terrible. I mean, we've been in the house.
Yeah, it's been a rough one. So we have all 11 cats are in the house with us right now.
Because it's cold outside, also. So it has been comedic and quite nightmarish at times, but not completely terrible.
These are all checkpoints.
Yeah.
And
I guess
amongst the confusion, look, I can't, and the chaos of whatever they're saying anywhere. Because my mother said to me, and I'm not picking on Diane at all, but all right, so shit comes out. Let me tell you, when you're around, you hear the stupidest shit sometimes, right? I would have never thought I would grow up to look over at the adults in my life and be like, why did you just say that? And then you realize we're all just people. And she said to me, you know, the two of you should be wearing masks. I don't know why you wouldn't wear masks. We don't believe in masks. She did that to me. And then I go, in the house, so you guys wouldn't get sick from each other. So I go, well, there's only two of us. Right? I go,
we have to share a bathroom.
Take a hit off the fucking blunt or a cigarette, put the mask on your face, and just blow. Not hard, just like you're breathing. And then you'll see how the mask doesn't fucking help you. Okay, so now after I've picked my nose or touched something, touched the doorknob, I slime snotted, I sneezed across the room. Oh, he's got the mask on, but he had it, and it's dripping off his fucking beard, and he goes inside. He fucking touches something. Paul gets a sniffle, goes, doesn't realize. So we're in 800 square feet. You're going to tell me again how you don't get sick in a tube if you're both sick, like if one's sick. How do you do that?
Really, and we're
No,
good.
so
We
if you
air
wear
out
the
house.
mask, you're good?
It drops down to like 63 degrees in the house.
No, the mask will save the day,
the
homie.
mask
But
will
wait,
save the
hold on,
day,
hold on,
yeah.
hold on. But you got to take it off when you eat.
Mhm.
Oh, so the mask and the virus understand that it's timeout time. Timeout. You can't get me. Ha ha. I'm on home base. What the fuck is wrong with you? Straight up. Right? What? No, I'm not picking on her. This is if she said it. How many people have heard somebody say it? Hey, look, put your fucking mask on. We won't have the fucking problem. You just put it just goes on and on. My father was like, thinking about doing X, Y, and Z with the booster, but now they're talking about a fourth shot. What? I mean, you can't tell at this fucking point what they're doing. You're gonna make me have to talk with you right now. This is gonna go down right now. I purposely don't attack family members because they know the old Frank would just be like, oh my God, conspiracy, the whole world's upside down. Guess what? Everything we said was right. It's a we. It's not just me. How many things came true that we've been talking about while, like, from the start of the show, and you got to know me. Then if you take it back to 2001, when we started going, 9/11 was an inside job. You work your way up to now, we're right in the 90s of percentiles. And then things that you didn't think we would be right on, like chimeras and genetic modification of DNA, you decided to call, you at large in the public or the media, against Alex Jones or the jokes, gay frogs. They're turning the frogs gay. You took that one statement and then shit on a dude who was explained from the guy that figured it out and has the science, and he's reporting on it, and you go gay frogs, and now we're like, oh, Frank, did you see any reptilians this week? They're chimeras. They're giant fucking breeds of animal that are now able to walk and function and be smarter than you, bigger than you, faster than you, stronger than you, literally use you as a fucking food source. Oh, yeah, that's too much. So there might be something wrong with these vaccinations. You see all these ridiculous layers and nonsense and bullshit. I have the water on, don't I?
Oh,
Shut it off.
you can shut it off. It's a tea kettle. He's coming right back.
Sorry about that.
It's okay. Oh, thanks, hon. Here.
You got to talk to him while I'm not.
Oh, okay.
You can't just hang out.
Sorry. We were hanging out. We were hanging out. Yeah.
Okay,
it's
everybody,
rough.
it's tea time.
It's rough with the. Oh, and you see how clean it is?
Look how clean Paula got this today. I pour a little out for my homies and then a little for you at home.
There you go.
There you go.
Thanks, babe. We don't even use a tea bag anymore. It's just hot water and honey and lemon because I don't know why. Why did it start with hot water, honey, and lemon? Why don't we use a tea bag?
Egypt.
Anymore?
And the tea bags have fucking poison, guaranteed. That's really where it comes from. We don't need that shit. Just give me that hot water, that lemon, and give me some fucking honey. Where did we get that from? That's from Egypt. We were doing that. I saw us doing that in Egypt.
Okay, I was just asking.
I saw it there.
I don't remember how it started.
So it's probably before that.
But it was delicious. It's just hot water, lemon, and honey.
So,
but you made a cup. The cup last night was delicious.
Amen.
Do you want to go outside? I'm not getting up off this chair if you don't want to go outside.
So we're at the point of conspiracy theories aren't theories that are conspiracy anymore. They use that name terribly against the population and people that would wake up and spot their bullshit. So they would label you, right? What did Dave Chappelle say? The worst thing you can do to someone is fucking take what they're telling you and just label them as crazy. You hear it and go, yeah, that you're crazy. Mm-hmm. No, that's crazy, of which I told you it doesn't make me crazy. Put the glasses on, son. Right? I'm going to ask you one more time. Put the glasses on before this whole fucking charade falls. What are you going to do physically, spiritually, mentally, with no equity in yourself when the shit hits the fucking fan? And I don't mean camping because there's no power and then making your own fires and having storable food and water. I mean, when the shit goes AWOL and you start finding out stuff. All right. So the first time I got hit with real hard information, it blew my socks off, literally. My heart pounded hard because I was a meathead, right? Like, nah, really? And oh, here's some proof, and here, take a look. And then for 3 days, you can't sleep. All you can think about is that one thing. Well, if that, then what about this? You know, when I worked at the USDA, all I was doing is doing fucking stupid inspections that didn't amount to nothing except money for the USDA. And they turn around when I become the prime fucking inspector, and they put me in a class with a bunch of people, and they're breezing through the new booklet, and they start talking about deputizing people during UFO crashes. And I just looked up like,
Can we go over this again, please?
they threw me out of the office for asking questions. Disrupting the class. I'm fucking 30 something years old. I'm like, so all I said to them was, so what you're saying is that's real. Now, I wasn't a conspiracy guy at the time, just into Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm just asking you to confirm what's written.
You
so
know,
for UFO lands,
I get deputized because they might have food on board.
They might have food.
Because, well, they're biological, and in biological nature, they need to eat, and then they need to poop, and they need to pee of some kind.
You can't bring food.
And then I'm like, man, I don't put on the yellow fucking,
you can't bring
outfits
to another country.
Or the big white hooded outfits.
Yeah,
the
biohazard.
The biohazard. Yeah, that didn't sound right. And then run onto a UFO. Like, I look at blueberries.
I guess you do.
I'm a rapper. You want me to make them a theme song, or something, a little anthemy?
No,
I'll do that.
They want you to make sure that
they're like, you in the fire department. That's how this works. You're deputized.
It's awesome.
On the spot.
It's an honor.
And I'm like, so what you're saying, it's real. They're like, get out of here. I'm like, yo, I gotta tell you guys something. This is my office. And they were like, okay. They got my boss. And the boss was like, Frank, leave. Like, just leave. Just get out. And I was like, wow, how do you tell the head of the USDA? Oh my God, it was the weirdest shit. You guys don't even know. Blowing my fucking mind. Then the poisons, then chemtrails, then the sprays that they were using are literally, when I was mixing stuff at Truly Nolan, I got an etymology license, and you have to, when you spray the oranges and stuff, you can't ingest that on any level. You get cancer. It's not like, well, it could give you cancer. It gives you cancer.
Frank dropped the blunt.
God damn it, way to go.
Oh, you dropped it. He dropped it and rolled under the desk. Look at you. Look at what you did.
Oh my God, it's all the way back.
Oh, get this. Oh, you got it? Oh, look at you gorilla fingers. You got it.
I thought Pennywise was going to grab me from under the table. That's how far back it was. It's like, oh, I'll just grab.
How much dust? Is there a lot of dust under there?
No, I just did it yesterday.
Oh,
Yeah. But of course, you got to check it for cat hair, though. You can never trust the floor in this house. No, there was no poop, no pee, no spray. My eyes immediately look for
I know.
gooey,
like
sticky, nasty.
It's like the Terminator scan.
It's like, oh, it's just a dust bunny.
These cats, it's been so cold here the last couple of days for the last week that all of the cats have been in
good.
Most of the time. So Frank is gonna need a third lung.
Yeah, no, it gets rough.
So
I forgot we have the machine on behind us,
and it worked lovely because you slept beautifully today. And then we put the fans on, and it gets very cold in here. But we have to change the air. Like right now, it's smoky, and then after we'll air everything out, and then it'll be very cold, and then we'll put the oven on, and it'll be very warm, and then we'll go through a series of sweating and freezing.
I'm hot. I'm cold. It's really weird when your knees are cold and your inner thighs. And then you're hot, like on your head, because you're wearing a fucking hood, and then you're sweating at your neck. It's I don't know, this fucking house.
It's whatever. We're just
it's built with brick and some stucco-y lead shit from 1940.
I think Frank and I are ready. Like we're both ready. We're busting at the seam. Like we're ready. Like this is enough. Frank's mom gave me Mama Diane. She gave me a gift card for Christmas, so I bought this amaze balls cat tree for the cats, and Frank put it together, and
See,
it
instead,
was either going to be a hit or a miss. No one was
nah,
gonna
we
use
put
it.
that together, smooth sailing.
It was like easy like Sunday morning putting the thing together.
Found the spot for it. It's gigantic.
Well-
It's in the back corner.
Well, I measured before I bought it. I made sure it would fit.
That's what she said.
So we put it together. It was fine, and all the cats love it. I mean, I think almost all the cats have not been on it, but the cats who
Most of them have.
Choppa. Oh
Yeah,
yeah,
Chay was on
they
it.
all have. Brian's even been on. Yeah,
Mhm.
they all have been on it, and
It's huge.
and it's really cool because there's a high spot. That one
Yeah,
of the
whoever
cats go
sits
on.
up there literally gets stoned when the windows are closed, and we're so gonna join.
Thank you. Love you to call us.
Fuck them. Right? You're gonna come bother me with all the shit that's going on. You should go after fucking Dr. Fauci, who's been murdering puppies for the last fucking 30 years. Who knows what that sick fucking prick does behind fucking doors?
You're gonna get.
What are they gonna do to me? You're gonna ban me more? You're gonna eat me more now? You're gonna come after me more? This is all right. So I'm sorry. I don't mean to take it out on you. It's not you, my love.
I know.
I know it's not you, but these fucking mother. But this whole system is just beat. It's beat. Eventually, this right here, this YouTube communication, however we're fucking doing this through StreamYard, it's gonna be fucking banned, and then things are gonna go. Oh, so you're not gonna let anything happen? Okay, so we got you, Frank. I don't make my money like this. I don't. Oh, we stabbed him.
Ow!
Dude, you're holding your shoulder. I touched your fucking elbow. Don't play it for the camera, okay? All right, don't be stupid. So they come in with the and then I just go, that didn't hurt.
Oh, you're
not taking my life from me by banning me from what I'm saying. You could erase the whole fucking thing. I don't care anymore. Okay, look. I had to tell my dad today, just like I'm going to tell everybody else. Playtime is fucking over. If you don't realize they're trying, and I'm not trying to get you worked up, but check it out. They're trying to fucking kill us. 100%. 100. There's no pretending. Are we pretending? Oh, we're still wearing masks. Okay, well, look, mine's off. Fuck this shit. They're trying to fucking kill my mother and my father and my grandparents and your fucking people, right? And the parents to the animals. Like I'm trying to call to people's understanding and deepness. Like, yo, they're doing it. You don't get another chance at this. This is if we don't just stop everything and take a break and go, listen, this isn't going to work anymore, and let it fucking crumble on itself. You don't have to leave your house. That doesn't mean stay home. I mean, you could just do stuff outside of the system. You think the system's in control because I got so much shit to do. Yo, if you don't stop, it will never stop. But you got to fucking figure it out. I had to figure it out. She had to figure it out. Okay? We didn't just, you only know us from the fucking show. But what it took to
we had real lives before this, like real
you have no
lives.
Like it was crazy, just like everywhere else in everyone else's story. Life changing and threatening and destruction and disgusting. And I'm fucking tired of playing in the fucking loop.
Did you work a lot of overtime in your job?
Every day. I worked like 1 or 2 hours, and it doesn't amount to the hours never looked like I was working overtime because my shift was over at 1. So if I stayed till 3, it wasn't a big deal. But when you start staying till 5, I couldn't do it.
It's too many hours.
Way too many hours, and you can work as much as you want. Thank you for interrupting with the overtime thought, though.
No, I was just asking.
Well, they're poisoning people, and they're trying to kill them.
Like,
they're taking their children away.
We did have lives. Like we were working people.
I was a working motherfucker, and they make it like, so this is what I was explaining to my dad. So you're over 65. You're a useless fucking eater, right? How does that make you feel? And he was like, man, who are you talking to? I got no. I didn't say that. I'm repeating literally what Bill Gates says. Him and his whole crew. Man, they did that whole Time magazine thing, the case for killing Granny. What the fuck do you think that was? All right, so we use subversive language and scientific bullet notes to make it sound like we're not saying we want people over 65 to be dead because they're useless fucking eaters. After saying, well, after 65, they're basically just useless eaters. So they say it to you, they do it to you, and then I scream about it, but I'm the bad guy. No, this is how it's going to work. I'm not going to tell you what to do in this world or whatever, but this is your chance right now. I want you here in my future. What does it take for you to get a basic understanding to wake the fuck up? Period. You know, all right, Paula, how do we get internet? We went through this the other day, right? So interesting, right?
Satellites? Wrong.
Wrong. Come again. Underwater cables. We don't even have a fucking clue. And people out there be like, well, you get it like this. No, they bounce it off towers after sending it up through signals. It's never coming from space. That's not how this works. They've been finding cables that look exactly like our stupid high-speed cables buried that are like 1 million years old. And they're picking them up and the cables are still intact. Like they're gigantic. Where are they finding them? Well, under, just like where we put them, right. Under. Well, maybe they were. No, it was us. This is the harder part to get. It wasn't them. That was us. We put it there. We've been here the whole time. And we're doing the exact same thing we did. Right. Over and over and over again. Okay. You said they keep just putting it on top of whatever was there.
Civilizations on top of a civilization.
Yeah, I'll just build my house on top of this fucking place. It looks good. The water's there. The things here. There was some this, and they see that there's something under there.
Well, everything's roughed out already, right?
Mm-hmm. It's kind of like there's roads already. It's kind of squared off already. And then they connect and just build right on top of other things, which is why you get these ridiculous. When we were watching Ninja Turtles right before the show started, and they found out where the Ninja Turtles were, and I didn't say nothing to you, but we were both watching the screen, and the girl turns the targeting system on that went into the sewer, and they found them. Yep. Did you see the route it took in the sewer? How deep and weird it was, like fucking huge. Yeah. And then that was just one little part under this one area they were looking at.
Where the subway is.
They were like, look at the subway runs the whole strip.
Right.
So if this one area, let's say it's 10 blocks.
Very involved.
Has all of that, and that's just what they're showing you. It went down in all directions and all caves and caverns, all dug out and this and that. So Paul and I were making comments about there's pictures of Moscow and Russia, like places in Russia. And then it's like places where millions of people are with those beautiful buildings, those crazy Kremlin buildings and all that shit. So there's never not been snow there for as long as we've been around, right? Like the Siberia and everything. They're finding this stuff there. And you're like, oh, look what they built in the middle of the snow like that with no roads.
Or technology.
Right? Or technology on horse and fucking buggy 200 years ago. Yeah, show me a picture.
Or 1,000 years ago.
Or 1,000 years ago. Show me a picture. So there are pictures. We were talking about the first pictures.
Where are the people?
There's no people, but the whole place is done. There's not one person in any of the pictures. And you're like, did you guys just walk up on that shit and take a picture? Because that's what it looks like. Because there's no roads in and out of this fucking weather. Like, where did you get that polished stone and those knobby tops and those domed areas? Where did you get those slick ass fucking floors and those carved into the fucking whatever it is you're using to make this place?
Into a mountain. Castles into mountains. No technology.
Okay. Oh, and it's this big. Look how fucking big it is. Yeah. And you're like, so how'd you guys do that? You guys just figured out how to do boots and shoes. Weren't you using candles? Oh, you got... Bring forth the men that made this, please. And his chisel. And his coat. And his men. And his horse and buggy. Bring them all forward. I would pour gold for them and allow them to walk across and stand with the king, because that's some fucking bullshit story if I ever fucking heard it. This is some dumb ass shit. We're at the point where, okay, so everything's under us, isn't it? It's all just under us. Like, it's not really exterior, it's interior. It's not really externally here on the planet. It's like internally in on itself, and that's where inner earth and the civilizations and the this and the that are. What about stuff that was buried here?
Thank you.
Stuff may be under the ice, right? Climate change. We're going to tax you because you fucking fart. And that farting is causing the biodome that we live under to leak these terrible gases into the atmosphere. And it's breaking down with the CO2 and the carbon, and it's causing the ice to melt, and we're going to be underwater in 2020. Okay, we should be dragging Al Gore right to jail for lying, okay? But hold on. But it is melting. There is climate change. Well, there's always climate change. The world is spinning and turning and moving and burning and rocking and rolling. However, Antarctica specifically seems to be melting pretty quickly.
Yep.
Like extraordinarily quickly.
Yep.
Not like we turn the heat on. It's like
Yep.
somebody from inside the
Yep. Heating up from
I
the
don't know,
inside.
under the ice
Yep. What's under all that ice?
is maybe warming up. So what would be an undeniable thing? So now this is already in the ether. I'm not discovering this. This is just an obvious one. You got all the elites going down to Antarctica, and then all the elites are taxing you more for the climate change, because the ice is melting. It's your fault. So we're going to tax you, because taxing you means we get more money. That means we can fight it, because it's a war, because everything's a fucking war. And everything the government goes to war with, they fail. They never win the war. The drug war is fucking long won by everyone doing drugs. So they talk about something so big, it'll be undeniable in this world. What if it's not visitors from space like that? What if that's just part of it?
Oh, it's part of it.
And they just have their shit buried here, and they're just turning it on, and it's like
whole civilizations inside.
Yeah, well, they're packed in there. You know, I don't know about this, but I somehow think the mall place we go to is connected through there.
Might be.
Like, you can take a tunnel and hit that mall.
I think there's a whole civilization under there. I think they're going to discover that there's a lot under that ice. I think there's a lot that we don't even know. We're told doesn't exist.
Yeah, you don't. You got to go to work. You got shit to do. Go get your kids and get your fucking vaccines.
There's a whole.
You don't have time to talk about this frivolous stuff with you and your weak-minded, foolish communities at large with your conspiracy theories. We're corporations. We're building back better, and we're dealing with the fucking devil itself and making progress. Like, oh, so you're a bullshitter and you're full of shit and you're hoarding all the essentials, including the truth. Well, something so big and so massive would just melt away. They're finding that vibration now that causes that melting, whatever that is. It's glowing under. You can look and see with technology now that it's obvious there's something going on. Sections on the moon, section on Jupiter lighting up. Sections going down. That's not actually a section of that doesn't actually have the same properties as the moon or the planet that it's on. So it's obviously something's buried. You know, I said something, and I'm going to say it again right now, okay? Because I said it to Chris fucking Geo. I said, yo, there's something under the Sphinx, and I didn't find this out from reading anything. I literally went there. Yeah. And there's been people that said X, Y, and Z, but I was specifically with him when I had smoked with him, and they showed this to me, and he said, man, there is nothing buried under here. Obviously, you don't know what you're talking about. That's what he said to me. And I said, oh, I guess obviously I don't, and only you do, right? Obviously. And then what are they finding out now? There's something underneath, all the way deep under there. I'm like, well, it's not going to be shallow, you fucking dick. It's going to be buried deep, a mile or two underground, not push the ear on the fucking camel head and then, oh, a secret door leads into National Treasure with Nicolas Cage. It doesn't fucking work like that. Like, use your fucking head. And it's not one, they're everywhere. And they're there. You got there's some kid that proved it with the one in Egypt under the Sphinx. Not long ago. He's like an autistic kid that's like highly intelligent. And he was saying that shit's under there. I found out through Toth himself. He said, my ship's going to activate. Like, that was when I was on with him. Like, that's us. We didn't go anywhere because I was like, where the fuck you been? Why would you leave us? And he's like, I didn't. They were like, what you would say, I'm going to go get coffee and cigarettes. I will be back in 20 minutes,
right,
is what we did. Right. That's it. And I'm like, what? And he's like, yeah, we just took a ride around the sun and came back, bro. And we're looking right at you. That's why you're up here with us right now. So I'm like, oh my gosh. Holy shit. So it is true. You're just activating. Things are melting, spinning, warming, magnetically charging. People are doing that. Here's another test to that. Your inside structure, buried deep, is activating. Everything in you is turning on and warming up.
Oh,
that sounded right, but not right. But you know what I mean. You know what I'm saying. So it's an as above, so below situation.
I do know what you're saying.
Right? So if we're genetically connected to them, why
right,
wouldn't we genetically be connected to the situation? No matter how much you start to tell me it's not true, the truth just starts to show me that you're lying.
I think that's where
and literally don't know what you're talking about.
Some of the nausea and dizziness comes from.
Well, yeah, that's part of the symptoms, love. The spinning inside of you, the activate. I would have never thought any form of levitation comes from your belly. You got me sitting here like Professor X. I'm gonna fly, and they're like, that's not how you do it. I'm like, well, what do you do? Like, naturally, nobody tells us what to do. You just try to do it. And they're like, no, it comes from here. It's almost like your chakras spin at once. Was like one sphere, your lower chakras, and it lifts, and you become like that buoy balance. It's fucking weird. And I was like, wait a second, you can do that? And they're like, yeah. The hardest part was getting it's like those compasses in the car. And you stick it on your windshield and it's in that bowl and it shakes inside there and then it finds its balance eventually. That's what is like happens in this part in your torso. It like just spins and rotates till you get it balanced and then you're level. And now it's like, oh, well, I could just, and it wasn't like flying like Superman. It was like swimming like a dolphin in the air.
Say that when you're walking in the water, your center of gravity comes from your belly, from your stomach.
It was yeah, for sure. It was the weirdest thing. It was like, you know how the dolphin moves its body. That's how I was able to move, and like you just start going, and then to control yourself, you have to do that. I remember I felt like the greatest American hero when you just and he would hit the wall. Except there was no hitting the wall. You never hit. That was the other thing. You're not going to hit anything. You're fully protected. The idea is you're not going to do that. That doesn't even fucking exist. And you're worried about it. See, we're learning this. And you're like, oh my gosh, I can't even believe this is happening. And it's like, yeah, you wouldn't have thought it could work that way. You wouldn't have thought you had telepathy. You wouldn't have thought you had telekinetic abilities. You wouldn't have thought you could speak to an elemental. Garden fairies didn't exist 6 fucking years ago. They just didn't. That shit is gay. Shut up, Frank. Frank just went full retard. Take him outside. Do not let him drink. Make sure he pees before he goes to bed. I'm dead serious. Like, give me a fucking break. This is why I say all the time, if Oscar sat up, He's literally sitting here and we're smoking a blunt and he's like, well, what? That didn't just happen. If he sits up and goes, I understand what you're saying, right? Would it be that far out of line? Well, you want ET. ET is basically that thing standing up.
No.
Right? You want cat beings? You want the lion being?
No. I said he's going to tell me before he died. He's going to go, I understand every word. And I'm going to be like, I knew it.
Son of a bitch. This place, it's taking a lot longer in this world for things to play out. All the conspiracy theorists and all the weirdos, you thought, now some of that shit is weird. But you know what? They also have MK Ultra people where, and I know this for a fact, and I have a friend that had told me his story, which was so, I can't tell his story, but it's so out of hand, but it has to do with the white van driving down the street and then hearing
oh yeah,
in your head, you like to kill the person next to you and you're a piece of shit, whatever. And then it activating the kid in the house. And then the kid's like, I don't know what to do. They're after me.
But that's the idea.
And it's a kid.
It's hit it.
They're following me. They're everywhere. And he's playing with knives all of a sudden. He's cutting himself.
Is going out to everyone. And they're waiting for someone to answer back.
They moved. It stopped happening.
Yes.
Yeah. They came out of one area where it's a busy city. He said, and the kid's like, no, you don't understand. They're just driving down the street, targeting people. This came from a kid.
Yeah.
So it's not like they're targeting me. They're targeting everyone like me.
And waiting for a call back. It's like that movie.
Yes. Oh my God, she's on fire.
That movie where the kid answers solves a puzzle in a magazine.
Oh, and then he gets the phone call.
And then he gets the phone call from the FBI or the CIA. They're coming to kill him now.
Yeah,
because he could answer because
you could figure out
it's there, and if you can figure it out, you're a danger to society.
Yeah. Then you can see what we're doing.
Right.
And that's not gonna happen.
That's not gonna happen. I can't remember the name of the movie.
Yo, it's also a little bit like Halloween 3
with the
masks.
You put the mask on.
So they would do the thing, 2 more days to Halloween, right? So they were getting you prepared for some broadcast. So everyone had these masks, and it was like a witch mask, a ghost mask, or the pumpkin mask head. And then you put it on, and it had like a receptor on it of some kind. And then when the broadcast happens, it's just a fucking frequency. And they like, are you ready? And they just turn it up, and then people's heads start exploding.
Yeah.
Okay. Now that sounds crazy, right? The Kingsman, we just watched.
Same thing. Implant.
They're in the fucking church, and they're like, oh yeah, how's this going to work? It's in everyone's phone. The guy just turns the knob up, and then she goes, oh my God, you got to see this. He goes, I don't want to see that shit. Don't show that to me, right? And they fucking have the church fight scene where like people are just axing each other and shoot. Oh, that was a rough one. And I'm like, look what they're making. And then at the end, they make the whole world do it.
This is why.
Because they were giving away the free phones.
It's too many people. I don't want to be around this many people anymore.
They're telling you, literally, we have the tech to do this. We have the ability to do this. And we can do this. So to keep it MK Ultra style, they do it subversively. Now, I don't have all the answers, but you've heard hosts from every radio station that have had history with things like we know Eye of Ra. So Ralphie tells his story where he woke up somewhere else. He was sleeping over here, and then he wakes up over here, and now he's strapped in, and then they have him back over here, and now he's arrested, and he's like, what is going on here? I'm not crazy, right? I've had lost time when I was in Canada. We talked about it on the show, where I hit the guys and I thought I killed them, and then I was laughing, they dragging them out. But really what they had on video was me running around the halls naked with 2 dudes that attacked me.
Right.
But then it was like the time was off. No one came to help. No one came to see if I was okay till the next day. My clothes were all like in a certain way. So we're telling the story, and then people are like, yeah, that's fucking just, but we're getting clips in our mind of the reality. And now after, for me, 100 ayahuasca sessions, it comes out during a shower. You know what I'm saying? Like, hey, do you remember this? And it's like, oh, this is like, yeah, I remember. Well, I don't remember that.
Right.
That's not what happened. Just like with the girl, she gave me the
been
drink.
in a few situations like that.
Right? Like, yeah, well, naturally, the thing that you had happen, let's say during ayahuasca as well, literally had to have happened. That wasn't metaphoric.
No, it happened.
Yeah. So that's when you're
I just
missing an hour and you're like, what happened? And you hear stories of the 20 and back program. Like you spent 10 years there and then they just put you back at the time they took you. And they're not in time. So you're not losing anything. You just going in a pod and and then they put you back right when they took you. Just like Captain America has to do with the Infinity Stones at the end of Avengers. They're like, if you don't put them back the exact point we took them, it causes the change to occur. Like it changes the timeline in some way or another. So we put you right back so it doesn't affect anything. And then it doesn't affect your karma. Right. But people start coming out of it because there's no way to suppress consciousness forever. You can't do that. It's like putting baby in the corner. You don't put her in the corner, right? Nobody puts baby in the corner. Like it will only last until Patrick Swayze shows up and fucks you up. He throws the roadhouse down on you. So we're going to see this now. But you're already the frog in the pot of boiling water, and the water is very hot. It doesn't feel like when we're in the jacuzzi jet anymore. It doesn't feel like fun time in the bath. It now feels uncomfortable, right. And it's obvious we're being fucking cooked. Now, you got 7 billion frogs in that pot, and you got millions screaming, they're trying to fucking kill us. And then the millions that are screaming that are the bad guys. What are you, fucking nuts? So we're the dummies. We're the only ones that care. We care so much that we went and did some research. Yeah, granted, let's say half of those people don't do any research and they're just screaming from the other side. That's fine too. We're allowed to have that as well. You're allowed to have all variations in there. But to label us crazy and conspiracy at this point is out of your mind. If I can't even remember their names. Some of these guys on the news, they literally look like robots. Right? When someone argues bullet points with you, and they're like talking points, and they just basically repeat function, and then outside of that, it doesn't work. Like it just don't work outside that at all. It's almost like a computer spitting its version at you. No, this is how it is. 1, it was this. 2, it was this. 3, it was this. 4, it was this. And it's like, yeah, none of that's true. And it's like, no, it is true. Like we got to take their guns. We got to go after them. It's just like, does not compute. It's just a constant beat of the same exact thing. If you can't see it, not you, I mean, in general, that the way they attack your consciousness at this point, it's like it's a fucking robot, whether it's a programmed human, an actual robot, a fucking clone, a digital copy with it programmed to talk to me a certain way. The talking points, the talking heads will just nonstop do it. So when they do that to you, what does that make you comfortable? You know, it's the unvaccinated that are doing all this. They're kids, and we got to take their kids from them. Here we come. We got to take the kids. They're doing drugs. They're terrible people. They need this. They came to the school. They want to know what's going on. How should you know over the state what's going on? Like, what right does it give you? Oh, the minute they start stepping in that shit, you got a couple of things going. You got a Nazi, like some kind of android robot function that's deliberately put there to do that to you, or you have some kind of creature that you're not aware of in control of it, getting them to do that because it wants you. It's like the evil witch with the fucking apple. It's like the fucking people that live in the candy cane house that are getting the little kids to come in. Come and eat the candy. They don't know the candy is going to give them the sugar poison. Right? They don't know that. right? Like in Hansel and Gretel, right? They get taken by the witch, but it was really the candy cane house, right? They were like, oh, you could eat everything here. Oh, and then they get them inside and throw them in the oven. I mean, it's obvious what's going on. Come here, eat the candy. Come here, eat the candy. Come here, take the shot. Come here, take the shot. Come here, take the shot. They're breaking every fucking law in the universe by promoting and asking and telling and mandating. So it's either Nazis, evil humans. I just attribute Nazis and evil humans in that same kind of category. They kind of fall right into it. Like this Nazi, and then there's all the versions of piece of shits all underneath them, right? That just range from all over the place. You got fucking people like, yeah, but what about the reptilians? The reptilians want to fucking eat your soul too. They literally feed off the soul energy that's inside of you and will eat you. Okay, so there's them. You're worried about that kind of shit, right? So that's an idea. Then you got archons and all these characters. We were watching fucking Lord of the Rings last night. Yeah, we've been watching some movies. And the giant spider was there. And Samwise is like, don't you touch him.
I couldn't even speak.
You filthy beast. I was like, yo, he's the hero of this movie. But when you saw the spider, I asked you if you have to fight through one fight scene in just this movie alone. Just one fight scene. But so it's like either the spider, the ghost, the this, the that, right? Like there's just so many. And then when you saw the spider, you were like, no.
I couldn't even speak about it. It was
and we were
terrifying.
And we were watching the orcs, and they were basically corrupted other creatures, right? So
yeah,
they're like zombies that are bigger, stronger, faster,
horrible, terrifying.
And all they want to do is fucking kill you.
Yeah.
And there's thousands of them in every direction, and they're just running into the castle one at a time. This motherfucker calls me every week, and he knows I'm doing the show. And he goes, "Oh, that's right, you do a show." This has been going on for like 3 years now. All right, so all this is there and happening. And if only your mind could pick up on the fact that there's a bunch of piece of crap humans in charge, literally raping your children and taking them, MK ultraing your children, you programming us. Every time I say you, I get yelled at. My dad was like, well, when you say me, I go, no, I mean us. I'm not been programmed. I had to unprogram too. You forgot me and you were at war all those years. He was like, oh yeah, we broke that cycle. I go, yeah, it takes work. And then realization. Now we're here, right? So we got to work together, because when we're heisting them back from heisting us, they have this elite plan in order. But literally, we're creators. And it's like, it doesn't matter what you call yourself, elite or douchebag or Phil from top of fucking, 9th floor copies and fucking faxes. We don't give a shit. We activate and we turn on. You got the elaborate fucking plan. And now you're getting spotted from the guys that wrote the program. I said, what is the... So if you were in the Garden of Eden and the snake was there and he was talking, and the snake is silver-tongued and then fanged. So he's talking to you. And he's like, yeah, man, you should take the shot. You should eat the apple. You should take the shot. You should eat the apple, right? The next thing is he's going to bite you because he's a snake, right? Which is the injection. I was trying to explain this, like the fangs are the injection point for the demon. The literal snake in the garden was just a reptilian, a snake man talking. There was no Adam and Eve that way. It didn't work that way. There were beings there, other beings going, hey, man, do you know what you are? You're in the jungle, baby. Right? It wasn't literally the story. So to explain someone that's into that story, like if you were in the garden and this was the garden and the snake was speaking, it's obvious the snakes are the politicians, the lawyers, and the bullshit artists, the silver tongue, that which convinces you to do otherwise, all the MK Ultra, all the shitty music we're listening to that brings everyone into the shitty part of the pool where everyone's peeing and they tell everyone, go hold your breath and go underwater. And you're like, no, I don't think I will. Not today, sir. Right? And then you make the ones that aren't swimming in that side of the pool the bad guys. Well, obviously they don't like peeing in the pool. So there's something wrong with them. It's like, no, you're not supposed to be swimming in that to begin with. And here we are at the point. Right? Godzilla literally could attack at any time. Literally could show up and be like, I'm here too. Why wouldn't they Jurassic World this place? Why wouldn't that be happening? They're making what's basically Jurassic Park, right? That's the cloning facilities and all that. And you can clone me and you. Why wouldn't you be able to clone her, that thing, something that's been alive? You know what? I got a better one, because the new Jurassic Park is, let's make a dinosaur that didn't exist. And let's put all the most fucked up shit that's evil into one. And then all of a sudden it starts going invisible, and they're like, oh, wait, it could change invisible? Well, it just mirrors its background like a chameleon, hardcore. Yeah, but it's 25 feet long, and it's...
Yeah, it's awesome.
Yeah. And it could open doors. It could... You
With
could...
its opposable thumbs. I don't even want to talk
It probably has a favorite song, too. You know what I'm saying,
Okay.
right?
It's horrible.
Yeah. They genetically snap it all into place, and then they're like, that's all there. Well, when you say inner earth and dinosaur beings, right? And then you watch Jurassic Park and go, well, that's obviously not real. There's no such thing as dinosaurs. But there's obviously then what? Snake men and reptilians and inner earth guys. Oh, no, wait, it's the cat beings, the Lyrians, and the it's those. They're okay. They're real. Anubis, the dog-headed man. Yeah, that guy's real, the human body, but not Casper the Friendly Ghost. It doesn't work like that, homies. It's all there. And it's about to be spilled out from a bowl into your face. And those that aren't willing to stand there and just go, oh, look what's happening, are going to get hit with that right in the face. Right? What's your first reaction when you get hit with a water balloon right in your face?
Shock.
Right? Oh, why the fuck did you do?
No.
Or when someone blows a horn next to your head.
Oh.
My heart almost started. You're a fucking asshole. All right, now that's a wake up call, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's fucked up when someone does that to you, right? Mm-hmm. What happens when the train's coming?
Right, you have to wake up.
That's a terrible feeling to have the.
Oh, it happened to me. I told you I was on the highway and I fell asleep, and everything was screaming, "Wake up! Wake up! Wake up!" And I managed to stay in my lane. I don't know how I got home. I was so tired, and there was just no time for anything. And I was very lucky. There are a lot of times like that when I just don't remember. Like, how did I get home?
How did I make it through this?
How did I make it through that specific thing? How did I get through it without having a heart attack or dying? Or
that's when they say shit like Jesus took the wheel, because they're just like misplaced during the moment, mm-hmm. almost like you're like some higher version of you's running it while mm-hmm. you're off thinking about I don't even know what.
Yeah.
Or absorbing the alcohol, like, you're like
we joke, you guys will joke like, like I'll smoke a blunt on like when we're doing the podcast or like when we're hanging out. I don't drive, and when I smoke weed, I can't do it. I drive too slow. I don't know why. I just drive too slow.
I don't know why.
I don't. Like, if I have to go somewhere, I don't smoke any weed. The only time I smoke weed is when I'm home. Or if, like, we're out.
This has been burning for an hour and 45 minutes.
I know. I don't understand it. It's like, I just don't understand.
I just want to tell you, I'm so proud of myself. I rolled this, and then you hear me. If you guys would hear me scream, like when I fucked the blunt up before the show starts.
Yeah.
You motherfucker.
No, this was perfect.
I just put them together and it went.
It was perfect.
It was kind of like Jesus took the wheel.
Yeah, I get it.
All right.
I get it. I made a stew tonight. It was delicious.
A delicious stew?
Mm-hmm.
I thought it was amazing.
Oh, and Andrew Sly, I made dumplings.
They're pretty good too.
Mm.
They're pretty good too. I found myself, and I find myself doing this often. I felt charged eating that meal.
It was good.
It had a little bit of meat in it, not a lot.
It didn't because I only got 1 pound of beef from the butcher.
And
but I cut it.
it was pretty small, like small,
Yeah, and it was a lot more veg.
and
than,
it fell
than
apart
beef.
like the ropa
I
vieja.
know.
But
I
there was
seasoned it the same way.
it was only a little amount, but there was a ton of potatoes, a ton of carrots,
Yeah,
and celery
and onions.
and onions. And I found myself when I went back, I was just scooping
Yeah, you were energized.
the vegetables out
Mhm.
because like I was over vegetabling where I used to be the meat.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, give me a lot of meat, give me some potato, whatever. Now I'm like,
Yeah.
just put the fucking potatoes in there and all of that
Yeah.
shit,
Mhm.
and then you sprinkle whatever, and I'm good to go. And I didn't, and you didn't either. There was no sleepy time.
Mm-mm. No.
There was no shit kind of
Downtime. Yeah.
Yeah. I didn't have the video uploaded. That was the only thing I didn't do.
No, we were good. This was all.
So I was
this
like,
all good.
yeah.
No, it's good, and there's very few dishes.
I'll take care of that. I know you will. Thanks for hanging in there tonight.
Thank you. You're welcome. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
I love you, Frank. I just,
I love you too.
I haven't felt well. I think I got sick twice. And then I'm like, are you crazy? Does that happen? Could I have been sick this whole time?
Bioweapons.
Do
man.
I just feel shitty all of this time? Like, come on.
I feel like when this breakthrough happens, people are gonna go from themselves out of in front of them. Their structure is going to be there. It's going to be like people they like locally, the barber, the butcher, this character, the banker, and then it'll be the banksters, it'll be the politicians, the lawyers, the this, the that, and it's all going to line up and come together. And then your ETs, your inner earth, your this, that, the other thing, it's going to all line up, and then it's going to fucking flush. Look, right into your fucking face.
I am good with not leaving the house. I am good with
so we got to get right with what's happening.
I just want to do it somewhere else.
You want this? I know. Look, it's obviously time.
Like if we had more, like, look, if we got through this, honey, we could get through anything. Okay? We have gotten through this time here. Okay? With your shit and my shit and
literally
I have never
Roxy
in
shit.
my life, never, ever in my life washed or used so many blankets at one goddamn time. I cannot explain to you. Everything is covered under a blanket, and all of these blankets have to be washed and cared for. And it is just like old ladies. It's like a whole bunch of old ladies live here. But I fucking love it. I can't help it. I can't stand it. I love it. But we're just ready now. Like, now I'm done. Like, if I'm not to leave anymore because I can't go anywhere because we're not vaccinated, I want to be home. I just need a little bit more space. And thank you guys for letting me just get that out. But yeah, that's how I feel. It's just everything is under a blanket. But I am happy with the cat tree.
Look how good the couch looks, though, without the blankets on it. Still kind of looks all right.
There's still 3 blankets on
No,
it.
I mean when you take everything off.
Like Reggie looks dead. Look at her. She looks like someone shot her. Look at her. Look at that little face. 1, 2. Oh my God. I don't even want to count.
Yeah, there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Don't verify it.
6. Just that I could visually pick up on. Yeah, I know.
My goodness.
Listen, there's
my goodness.
There's
how life is. You were talking about going to the clubs, go to see bands play. You silly man. We both can't leave the house at the same time. Otherwise, they're like, "Where the fuck were you?"
I was literally cold at the window for 2 hours.
Christmas Eve day, we were gone from the afternoon till it had to be like 11:30.
They look so confused.
Now we put.
They were like,
let me tell you, I fed them so much food before we left. I had extra food outside, extra water outside. We have 2 dog houses outside. We made sure the cats that stay in. The cats that may or may not want to go out are already out, so that this way there's no tussling. We had the video cameras hooked up to our phone so we could check the house. It was like, and this was just one day. I can't. Here, you can have this. I can't even imagine. but I love it. So whatever. So it's just a nightmare. It's just a nightmare.
Look, I think there's a lot of people here. Hey, so like
just want a
7
little
years
bit more
ago,
room to do
would you
it.
have seen yourself here?
No, 7 years ago I was in my own home. I was so happy.
That's what I'm saying. Wait a second. What?
I was until I met you, and then I was like, oh, okay. And then I was like, and then I was like, but he's not even nice to me. And they're like, just hang.
Would you like me to just give you money? You could go buy a place and fuck off.
What?
I'll take the cats, and then I'll just fucking bounce.
No,
Is life that
we
bad?
have to. No. I told you it's like a gang. We're in it for life.
That's what I'm saying.
All
Don't let me
right.
have to cut you on screen.
Don't
You know
let
the
me
rules.
have to cut you.
Everyone here heard I gotta cut them all too. The fuck are you doing? No, I'm just kidding. That's funny.
No, Frank and
She
I.
came up to me the other day and goes, "You know, this is like a gang, Frank. You're in it for life. There's no getting out of this unless you die, right?" And I'm like, okay. She's like, "No, you know what I'm saying." And she starts grabbing my shirt and shit. I'm like, "Get off me. Stop it."
Whatever.
I'm in.
You get, no, because then we have to divide up the cats, and then I'm gonna end up with like
Divide up the cats.
yeah, and then I'm gonna end up with like 9 of them, and whatever. No,
No,
it
we can't
can't
split
be.
nobody
Can't
up.
be. No, you get Reggie though.
I don't know what Sugar Pop would do without me.
You get Reggie and Sugar Pop. You can have.
You want to tell everyone you love him? And to have a
She
happy night?
loves him. She loves him so much.
Yeah, come here.
Oh boy.
So I hope everyone's really getting wise to this whole situation. On top of it, I know we're the Fearless group and we're the, we deal with the spiritual stuff, but there's physicality knocking on the door. And then after that's gone, there's the structure that needs to go, and there's a new one that's going to be developed. It's going to be developed by us, for us, by us.
We had a we did we I haven't talked Christmas Day we did can I say we did mushrooms?
I think we talked about the mushrooms.
Oh yeah, so we did it, and like I said, the world did not fall apart. Everything was fine.
Yeah, you had a pretty decent experience.
I checked in with the people that I loved, and everything was good. And Frank and I had the greatest day. And
oh yeah, no, we had a good time.
We had a great day.
I did the first spiritual to physical attack, and then as if it was nothing, and then just continued with you.
Yeah.
While we had our experience, it was like really.
Yeah. Oscar
it was really
protected
intense.
us. There was a being in the house. It was and you know what? We broke with tradition, and the world did not fall apart. And we were supposed to have that experience on New Year's, but we got sick, so we haven't been able to.
Well, when we take MMS, and we don't take it like we're supposed to.
It's a
2-3 times.
It eats the mush. It kills the mushroom, so you can't.
See, a lot of the sickness we get as human beings in us, it's basically mold and fungus that turn into other things.
Well, we're like an ecosystem,
right?
The body.
Well, I'm saying so. Introducing stuff that keeps that down.
Oh yeah, that's what I was trying to explain to my nephew about being alkaline. But of course, he's 22. He was like, like just keeping your body alkaline. Like as now I should talk because we drink so much coffee, but we do try.
Okay, well let's just talk about what alkaline is. You can put lemon in some water, and the stuff that it does balances stuff in your body. Like I'm keeping it as simple as possible. Right.
I'm talking about putting baking soda in your body.
Then you can put baking soda in water. You put like a teaspoon in some water, just mix it up, drink it. You burp a few times. You'll hear all kinds of fizzies in your stomach and everything, and then all of a sudden everything feels really good.
Mm-hmm.
Oh wow, I feel really good right now.
Mm-hmm.
So it rebalances all the stuff that's in you and gives you a little extra. Yeah. The snake man being, I think they do this to all of us, guys and gals. I think they know that we're like really the creator beings, and the blueprint is your body and your DNA. They're the ones that put you in the 2-strander out of the 12. They're like, well, we're going to take the guys with 12 strand, we're going to put them in a 2-strand, but we're not going to tell him it's going to go from a 12 strand to a 2-strand. We're just going to tell him you're going to go into a physical body, and then you'll be able to affect this environment, this space, and then that'll be a whole nother thing for spiritual evolution. I was like, oh, that's pretty fucking cool. And then you get in the body and it's 2-strand. And you're like, where am I? Who am I? What am I? Whatever. And then they show up like, no, I'm God. Don't worry. You must kneel and pray to me, my son. Just like in Conan, right?
Mm-hmm.
He goes, my son, kneel before me, my son. And he goes, Then he calls the girl off the tower. He goes, my daughter, come to me. And the girl just jumps off into the snake pit.
Yeah.
And he goes, that is true power. Like that. And Conan's just staring at him like, ain't no fucking God gonna ask you to do that.
Nope.
The minute you're telling me creeping death is coming, the minute you say
of
that,
any sort,
right? If you don't take the lamb's blood or your firstborn and put the blood of it on your door so it knows to cross over your house, you're fucking doing something evil. It's just the way it is. So no one's coming to save us, but we are working symbiotically without realizing it with others. Realize that. Don't put it all in their hands. Take the responsibility. Take it for your life. Like, it's time. It's time. I wish everyone to have the awareness to see this shit. The way I see it would be lovely, but the way you see it would be another piece of the puzzle. We need all pieces of the puzzle out on the field, like now. That's it, right? And then remember, inside of that, you create love, become more, you do your work, make sure you're grounded, do some psychedelics, have a good time. But know that the enemy is literally at the door. What happens now in Australia, really quick? Let me just ask you. The unvaccinated are only allowed to, you're not allowed to leave to walk your dog. You're not allowed out of your house. So you can't take the dog out into your backyard, right? They'll fucking take you away.
You can't
for
go
up
in
to
your
1 year. No. So you're not allowed outside if you're unvaccinated. So there's three things you can do. I forgot what one of them is. Like, you're allowed to the supermarket, and that's it. Back home, no exercise, no walking. They were like, no walking of your pets. Work was the other thing. Like, if you have to go back and forth, if they're allowing you to be there, or if you have to do something like that, or someone dies or some shit. So now it's creeped to the point of they're telling you can't leave except for those 1 or 2 essential things that you're going to need, and then get the fuck back home. There's obviously some bullshit. So that's the testing ground. It's done. It's like they got them locked in. They don't have guns to stand up and revolt and rebel. They're going to have to do what they're doing in like Kazakhstan, where they literally went into their parliament and they destroyed everything. The whole place quit. Their whole government was like, that's it.
Really?
They're burning them, right? And you're like, wait, what? And it's like, yeah, they had enough there, man. That's like the hub of the dark cabal control center. It's like a hub for them. Like, yeah, we're going to put up more buildings. We're going to make it nice and Wall Streety. And from our fucking silver and ivory towers, we're going to pour champagne on your fucking dirt heads. Yeah. And they had it. And the police even turned around and said, you know what? We're not going to be able to stop this. And they started working with the people. And then the news reports it's terrorist groups that were undercover and then that they're now acting out the cells or like activating, and now they're coming out. And it's like, no, bitch, those are people you're suppressing. Like 2 boots, one on your face, one on your balls, and then you're like, do something about it because we got everything else too. It's like, this isn't gonna work anymore. You guys gotta all go. This whole system's got to go. Now, I'm not promoting violence in any way, shape, or form. Do your part in terms of like get your physical equity, get your spiritual equity in order. Because why are you holding me so tight?
Yeah, why does she want you so?
Because now it's important. Because I'm literally having these conversations with people. Like my mother said the one thing, and then my father talked about the other thing, and both conversations were very relevant. But my mother thinks I'm kind of a dummy.
But they're the same age, and they're watching the same news.
I know.
And they're talking to their friends that are watching the same, who are watching the same news and hearing the same things.
It's okay, little girl. I know. And it's terrifying. And I reminded my father, I was like, so what happens when the doctors are held accountable? Because now we're at the boosters. Like if you're at your 3rd and 4th booster, if your doctor doesn't know what's going on, he's willfully ignorant, which goes against the Hippocratic Oath, which means you're a fucking murderer and you just killed my fucking dad, right? And you're trying to kill my fucking mother. Now this is going to stop today. And you want 5 to 11-year-olds? Let's start with yours. What are you, fucking nuts? Do you even have kids? The fact that you do and you're doing this to people? Nah, we're not even at the raping and eating of children. We're not even at drinking baby blood and shit. We didn't even go there, and we got all this other shit. Yeah, it's a fucking horror nightmare show, and we're going to stop it. The only way to stop it is to stop. Stop propping the system up. That's it. Just remove yourself from the equation. It's a heist. You do what you got to do. You go fucking to work. You keep your head down. If you feel you got to say something, do something, you do it. If it goes against your morals, they start telling you, these kids that took the shots, that got really sick, right? They were both the same age and whatever. They're like, yo, they won't allow me at work. Oh, I'm going to lose my job. I'm like, 22. So what? Do you live on your own? No. So why are you letting authority tell you what to do? Do you know what a law is? Yeah, law means you got to listen to whatever it dictates to you. I go, okay, do you know what a mandate is? I'm like, that's like a suggestion from me to you when you're on my property. I mandate you when you're on my property to take your fucking shoes off and come in my house. Until Rick James came over and said, fuck your couch. And he started running his feet up and down my fucking couch. How'd he get in here with his fucking shoes on? Well, this is what I'm saying. It's just a mandate. I'm not taking my shit off. I'll wait outside. Fuck off. You ain't telling me what to do. Like, mandates are agreed upon. You got to be like, okay, mandate is dinner's 5 o'clock. You going to be there? Or I'm going to give you a problem. And I'm going to be like, dinner's 5 o'clock. It's like it's not a law. You gave me a little bit of a mandate. I have to agree to it. But I don't get out of work till 5:05. So if you have the shit on the table at 5 o'clock, I'm never going to be on time for dinner.
Yeah.
That's all I'm saying. I love you so much. I won't drag you through the mud no more tonight. I love you.
You're not dragging me through that. Do you want to keep talking?
No, we don't have to.
Okay.
I think everyone knows at this point. Because I don't know, like, what you know. I don't know. I don't know anymore. We're at the stage of I don't think I can, like, from the community I speak to.
I'm not going to beg you to help you anymore. Yeah.
Yeah, I can't beg you to help you. It's like if you don't see it, you fall into that fucking statistic category. I just don't want you to fall into that statistic category because you're a fucking creator being. Right. Like, come on, man. And we're all one. Yeah, you're better than that. But some beings, because not all creator beings are here, are just literally here for the ride and to witness. So for the ones that are going to do it, you need witnesses to the ones that do it that don't do it. They just watch you do it and go, oh.
I think now we have to watch the Hobbit trilogy to see if your idea of the Lord of the Rings being the best trilogy there is.
There's too
Hold
much
up.
that happens in it. Come on, per movie.
I think we have to watch the
You
Hobbit
said to me
next.
last night, wait, are they you? I don't know if you fell asleep for a second
Yeah, I
and then
forgot.
looked up,
Yeah.
and then you were like, are they fighting it still? I'm like, it's still the same
Yeah, what
fight from the
side?
night before. No, but they were fighting in Helm's
Yeah,
Deep,
yes.
and it goes into the next day in the movie, and then you've passed out, and then like a half hour went by,
know.
and I'm like going, what the fuck? And what every 2 seconds, I'm like, I can't even believe what I'm watching. And then you wake up, and then the battle starts, and you're like, they're still going. I go, no, this is the next.
The next day.
Yeah, the elephants didn't even show up with the fucking things yet, but it runs that whole time.
I know. We have to.
Okay, that's one fight scene with epic conversations, a story that spans Middle Earth.
That scares me more than if the AI comes for me.
Come on, we knew at the end of the movie, spoiler alert, Saruman, when the tower was falling, when we were watching the power shooting up into the sky, and then off in the distance, they were in what was it? Rivendell? No. They were in the other place, Gondor, and they were watching the storm hit.
Oh, from the top
from the
roof.
tower, yeah. So they were looking, and they're like, "Yo, when the storm gets here over us, they're blocking out the sun. They're ready to attack." When it showed the eye at the end of the movie in the tower that was creating that beam, because that was what he was doing, I was like, look, he's in another dimension. He's literally opened a portal, and he's leaked his energy out into our system. It's literally our story. It's the AI. Sauron could have been the AI for all we know. We never see him. You see him get his arm cut off, and then he just goes.
I think we have to have more tea, and we need to smoke the Gandalf pipe while we have this conversation offline. That's what I think we need to do. And a dessert of some sort.
I just think it's got too much to not put it in like the highest category.
It is in the highest category.
I'm not a fan.
All I said was we have to watch The Hobbit next and compare it.
So we can't let them in on some of the fun of the conversation.
We're letting them in on it.
That's what I'm saying. It's just so intense. And then you have your chimeras, your wizards.
I know, it's got it all. I was terrified.
You wolf people, your beings of all kinds. Dragons. Yeah, that's on another thing. You were like, I was like, the impossible odds of each situation for each of these fights are ridiculous. And then you're like, oh yeah, they had to fight the dragon. They had one arrow. And they had to hit it where the one thing was.
They had one arrow, and they had to hit it in the little chink
in the armor.
In this dragon scale. I mean, really.
And I was like, oh, okay. While the dragon's spitting fire, while the place is burning.
And flying. And you got one chance.
Yeah. Kid, hand me that fucking thing. And that's just one thing. That's just the dragon part where they're shooting arrows.
I know.
It has nothing to do with going and get the Arkenstone from the dragon.
Well, that was a whole other thing. He had to go.
This is what I'm saying.
I mean,
you can't.
So there's a lot to compare. We gotta.
Yeah. Well, when I watch it, it just reminds me of my ayahuasca experience. Every one of them. It
reminds me of every morning when I wake up with these animals.
When the eye is looking at them, and then Frodo faints behind the rock, and he just lands out of sight from the eye, and Sam just throws his fat little body down, and he goes, "Get down, Mr. Frodo. He can't see us." But when the beam of light went over them, it was burning them.
Yes.
And then the ring was like pulling him to the ground, so the chain was melting through his neck. So he's literally being like it's almost like hot gravity's hitting you, pushing you to the floor, alerting the villain that you're fucking standing there. I was like, yo, when I had to stand in front of the eye of the pyramid, there was like a bazillion things going on, and the fucking eye in the distance looked at me, and that light shines on you, and then it connects to you, and was like, come up here. And I was like, this motherfucker's talking to me. Like, I was frightened to my core because I ain't never seen nothing like that. I was like, and then I went up there to see that it's all fucking fake and being run by ETs and that it's artificial intelligence. And that Abaddon, the fucking 7th layer monster and fucking of all the demonic whatevers, is just a fucking robot projecting your fear back at you. I'm done. We're done. Welcome to the hologram. Yeah, yeah.
Word.
All right. I love each and every one of you. Ow. That's
nails.
Oh, you motherfucker.
She didn't mean it.
You're like a fat little torso,
I know,
baby.
I know. She wants your attention.
I know.
All right, push her.
I
off.
can't. She won't.
Oh.
She won't let go. She loves me.
Yeah, she's gonna jump off.
Okay. Wow, that hurt. I got those thin
Pajamas on. Right?
sexy old man pajamas on tonight with my unmatching tie-dye.
I love it.
And my fierce, fearless
I love
consciousness sending forth
standing together
energy
would
in
look
the
like
universe.
A nightmare. I know.
I just look like I'm going to take a string out of my pocket and fix something in my house.
Whatever. I'm with it. I love it.
Thank you for staying with us tonight.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you for being in this now moment with us.
Nah.
Thank you for listening to the music. And by the way, that's up on the Fearless page. The official video I can't put out through the company. I have to do it myself. So Kevin and I will just be popping it around. I would really appreciate it if you guys could share it and throw it around. And if you know anybody who digs it, just grassroot it to them. I have a feeling we're going to have like a real Woodstock. It's not going to be called Woodstock because Woodstock 1 was great. Woodstock 2 was a bullshit fucking Green Day, whatever. It was not like the original. I think this original thing is going to occur again. I think we're right on the cusp of it, but we have to watch some fucked up shit happen. We have to like live through this moment into the next round of things where it empowers us, not impoverishes us. Sorry. So fearless consciousness. Oh yeah. We love you guys. Happy New Year. Let's make it fucking happen. If you're sick, there's a million ways you can get better. Go to them immediately. Stay out of the fucking hospitals unless you need stitches or broken bones fixed or some kind of crazy thing. Because right now that's like the center that gets you. Like you come in sick, we're gonna put you on a respirator, put this in your mouth, and then when they pull that thing out, no more. Because 90% of people don't make it past that part. Right? We need respirators for everyone. Ventilators. That's what I meant. Ventilators. Oh, and for those that don't know at this point, shout outs to a radio, a guy that was like kind of legendary to me on a personal level. Kev Baker passed away from TFR, from the Kev Baker show. And I know Kev since the very beginning. I don't know. I just want to give a shout out to somebody that was so awesome that when I would do his show, I felt like I didn't deserve to be there. Like, I'm like, oh man. And he and the rest of the guys were always amazing to me. Always. So he like paved a way, and then to work alongside of him a little bit, and then to be on the show with him. And he's been in our Fearless chat a bunch of fucking times.
Yeah.
I will always, every time I've noticed him, Kev Baker's here. Holy shit. So just, I guess, keep his family in your prayers, and if you're high level enough, just call him into the room and bring him over and ask him if he's okay, because I've done it already. And he's right there in the same place as Grandma and Grandpa and Uncle Eddie, all the same people. They're all together, like, your aunt, everyone I lost, they're all there waiting, not for us to go, but to make it. There's going to be this split in the frequency. I swear I feel it in my heart that they will be accessible to us in a way we're not quite able to understand for those that don't go flesh body, because we're going into the same place that they are, but we're taking these with us. You know, I've met some amazing people in my time. Kev was one of them. Thank you guys so much. Have a great night. Remember, the universe rewards bravery. Stay fearless. Questions and comments, hit me up, and shouts out. Sons of the sun. Kev, you're the man.
We love you.
And we love you. Peace.